I'm so sleepy. I gotta introduce myself. Um, Good day, you guys. I am Divine BK, and this is Brooklyn, right? That's my real name. Yes, it's on my birth certificate. Child. Because I feel like this is going to reach people who may have never seen me before. This may reach people who need the message. Um, this is going to reach people who need the message. And this is one of those things that just pops up on your, why do I keep saying FYP, For You page? I don't know. Trending videos, I don't know how to explain it. But you'll see it when it's time. And the time is now. Okay? And I am walking. I miss doing these. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Like, I really do miss doing these for real, for real. I really miss doing these introspections. And the reason that I miss doing these introspections, one, because my mind is the most active in the rising, right? I don't know why. That's just the way that I am. And it's like throughout the night type shit. So I'll be up early, 4 or 5 in the morning, all the way up. And it's just, I don't know. They always say that geniuses, wow, work in the morning, right? And I love it because there's always somebody who needs to be inspired. People don't need to be motivated. And the reason that people don't need to be motivated is because motivation is temporary. Inspiration is something that's longevity, which is why even your haters show up to receive the inspiration, because even if they don't like you, they're still enamored by you. They're still looking at you because they're inspired by your life. They're inspired by your ability to get up and continue to go. They're inspired by your plans. They're inspired by who they see. Because even if they don't like you, they secretly want to be you because they're inspired. Now, if I motivated somebody, or when you're motivated, motivation is temporary. It's a temporary feeling. It's a temporary expectation. You get motivated when you go to church, you hear the word, and then you go out back into regular life, and it's just you back on your bullshit. But when you see somebody that inspires you, that makes you want to change who you are, even if you don't know where to begin with the change. But that's not what we're talking about here today. What we're going to talk about today on a rise in introspection. And again, I miss doing these. It's been so long since I've done these. I used to do these all the time on TikTok, and you want to know what's funny? The most watched video that I have on my YouTube page is my morning introspection. I have over 500 videos. And people simply like to show up just to hear me speak. Not the readings, not what's going on in my life, not fashion, not me cussing and screaming at people. None of that. Simply me speaking the word. Me inspiring individuals. And today I wanted to come on because it was on my heart about having a plan, devising a plan, creating a plan. And I thought about all the people personally in my own life who didn't have a plan. And the reason that they didn't have a plan is because, what am I going to do? How am I going to eat? How am I going to get up today? What's the plan? And I was watching something and it made me chuckle because she just kept talking about the universe. Good day, girly. She just kept talking about the universe. Oh, the universe is going to provide, or the universe is going to do this, or the universe is going to do that. And her friend was like, okay, but what's the plan? And at the end, she said, I can't have the universe doing all the work. I know y'all heard that bird. And I want to speak on witchcraft a little bit, because even for myself, I needed to see that. Because my mind, for a second, I wasn't able to create my plans. I wasn't able to look at my plans clearly and concisely. And when I kept getting these readings, I was wondering why. I'm like, why the fuck they keep trying to fuck my mind up? Why they keep trying to throw chaos at my mind? Why they keep trying to confuse my mind? What is all of this? Why are they sending all this energy towards my mind? Because they know BK is that motherfucker. I'm literally a motherfucker that can turn limes into lemonade, limeade. I can take 2 sticks and a brick and make a fucking house. So of course, if BK can't devise a plan, she can't do her work. She can't be great. That's why it's important to keep the right people around you, to keep your mind on track, because it's the most powerful thing that you'll ever possess in this lifetime. No amount of money can take the importance of your fucking mind, which is why they spend billions and billions of dollars trying to fuck our minds up with the drugs, with the alcohol, with propaganda, confirmation. I ain't even gonna get too much into it because that's not why we're here today. And sometimes you can miss the mark. That's all that sin is missing your mark. People thinking that sinning is being gay. People think sinning is robbing, stealing, killing, selling drugs. It's simply missing the mark. And there's a Bible thumper in here. Make sure that you keeping up with the New Testament, not the old one. And make sure you know all the gods, not just the one that they showed you. And I need y'all to look up Mesopotamia. And what I mean by that is people think that God is a person. God is a source. God is an energy. Which is why even wicked people in this world are blessed if they know God. Don't let that go over y'all head. And when I speak, it's a lot of people who are offended by the things that I say simply because their mind is not expanded enough to understand something different than what they already knew. This is why it's important to devise a plan. Devise a plan for expansion of your own mind, not just the perception of what you see and what others wanted you to see, because conditioning is real. I miss these fucking conversations so much. And your plan is not going to look like what everybody wants it to look like. It's never going to look like what people want it to look like. It might not even look like what you want it to look like. And I don't know why I keep getting this energy of people being upset. Just people being upset. Simply because they couldn't forge a plan of their own. But people had a plan for your life. But how can somebody have a plan for your life when they don't even have a plan for their own life? How does that work? And people wonder why that wicked shit never prospers. Because God's plan is bigger than anybody else's. Let me double back to Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia, you need to look it up, research it. It was a society here in the Americas before this Babylonian shit. Over 4,000 years ago. We believed in over 1,500 gods, not just the one, Jesus Christ. So when you understand how to work with the many energies, you'll understand how to work with just the one. But when you work with just the one, you can miss the many. Don't let that go over y'all head. When you work with just the one, you can miss the many. It's like having multiple kids. If you pay attention to just one child, that means that the other child is neglected. That means that this child is neglected because you're focused on the one. Somebody neglecting some kids? If you neglected some kids, you don't need to be the fuck on my life. You need to be going to worry about them kids. Somebody could drive a red car. It's the same thing with the gods. And remember, the God's God is not a person, it's an energy source. Y'all need to keep that in y'all mind. And I know it's hard. It might be somebody older on here. And this is not the information that you were taught. And that's okay, but you'll learn one day. It might not be today. Confirmation, it won't be today. But that's not my fucking problem. At all. But devise a plan. And continue to devise a plan. Continue to work your plan. And know that the universe will always meet you halfway. It will never meet you all the way. It will meet you halfway. And the reason that it'll meet you halfway is because you still have to work the plan. You can create the plan, you can write the plan down, but you got to work it. You got to put in the work for it to actually work. And sometimes even when you put in the work, because I'm being called to say this, and it's funny because it's 2 cars driving by right now. 3. But it was 2 at a crossroads. And if you don't know what the crossroads are, it's basically that space between life and death. That's the simplest way that I can put it. Okay? Do with that information what you will. And death doesn't have to mean, being completely unalive. This simply means killing off an older version of yourself that no longer resonates with who you are or where you are right now in this plan, in this current energy. Confirmation on a train. Seven people could be significant. I hate when I could do this because sometimes I be channeling too. Like, I be channeling like a motherfucker. And if you don't know or understand what channeling means, basically it's downloads from source, God, universe. They're messages from the divine while I'm in my own thoughts. But just so know that all thoughts are not your own. So be mindful of that. That's for my spiritual AP classes. We're not going to get into that today. That's for my advanced students only. For my advanced students only. But I want to keep this short. I know y'all like for me to keep going and keep going, but I'm going to keep it short, y'all. I wanted to keep it short. I just had to get that out. Because being disconnected from yourself is a real thing, and I don't think people understand, one, just how disconnected people actually are from themselves, and two, how crucial and imperative it is to make sure that you remain connected to yourself and your higher self. Because if not, you'll be living by default and living in a plan that was set by default, not something that you created. And like I said, even I'm guilty of this myself. And I never understood. It's like today I understood, and I asked God to show me that too. I really did. I asked God to show me that. I was like, God, what is the attack on my mind so much? Why are people trying to project on my mind so much? Oh, she crazy. Oh, she's schizophrenic. Oh, she this. Oh, she that. Oh, she's losing her fucking mind. Oh, she's talking a whole bunch of bullshit. Everything that I motherfucking say is true. Everything. And just because it hasn't happened yet, confirmation on the 444 in the back of the car. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you all for being here. It was just 4 people in the chat. Because projection is very real. And when people project so much, if you're not aware of the source, or if you're just not aware of the projection period, again, you start to take on those things and believe them as your own. The same way that they projected so hard on Black people in America to make us think that we're less than, when we're actually the fucking blueprint for everybody across the entire world. Everybody across the entire world. Don't let that go over your head. And if that's not the truth, why is Michael Jackson still one of the biggest pop stars known to fucking man? He was a Black man. Mansa Musa, the richest man to ever walk this fucking earth. Not Bill Gates, not Elon Musk, not Donald Trump. Bitch, Mansa Musa, a Black man. Stop fucking playing with me. Y'all need to stop running y'all mouths and pick up a book. And again, when I start telling lies, somebody in my chat tell me shut the fuck up in real life. It's only been one man, a Black man, who's been able to check me when my mind wasn't right. To get my mind back on track. Only one. That's the point of the projection, to make you think what they want you to. Whole time, white people got us hating ourselves, and it's really them who hate them because they want to be us. And if I wasn't Black, I want to be Black too. And that's the God honest truth. What's better than a Black man? I mean, I appreciate every race, honestly. You feel me? So I ain't even gonna go that far. But that's just me. I'm a little biased. I don't think there's anything better than that. People can agree to disagree. But the funny thing is, and this is the whole gag of it, people think that light is the creation. Actually, the darkness is the creation, because without dark, you couldn't even have light to begin with. Because if you have light, you can't turn. I don't want to say it like that. How do I want to put this? Because it's so complex. And I gotta keep remembering it has to be simplified for everybody to fully digest. You can go in the dark and flick on a switch to turn the light on. But you can't go in the light and experience darkness. You have to turn the light off. Let's put it like that. You can go in the dark and flick on a light. You can't go in the light and experience darkness. So black really isn't a color, it's an embodiment of the gods, because that's how the gods operate in the darkness. And this is another thing. In every lifetime, I ain't gonna say every lifetime, but in most lifetimes, well, I'll say every lifetime just for this aspect of it and this introspection, right? We've experienced every race. Just like the first people here, every race came from the melanated people, exactly, the darkness. But we experience every race. In another lifetime, you could have been Asian, you could have been Korean, you could have been Indian, you could have been Ethiopian, you could have been Caucasian. We experience it all because that's the part of the human experience. And this is going to be something that y'all might have to really go back and replay and watch, because I'm dropping gems and I don't really think y'all picking them up like that, for real. If I'm being completely honest, really don't think y'all picking them up like that. Like, this shit is crazy to even feel that way, but that's truly how I feel. And that could be projection, because I know that's not for everybody, So I'm not going to project that on everybody, but it is a few people in here. Rewatch it. I'm going to post this for y'all. I'll make sure. Confirmation on the bird. Double confirmation on the bird. And you may have just came in late too. You know what I mean? Where they like, yeah, I came in late, BK. Not too much on me. Not too much on me, gang. I got you, gangster. Like, hold on, because you ain't my gangster. I can't be saying that to everybody type shit. But yeah. Devise a plan. Stay connected to your higher self. That's what keeps you creative. Because that moment that you become disconnected is the moment you start living somebody else's plan. Now I'm going to end it here. I love you guys. I appreciate you all for being here. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing and being a part of the community. And if you need me, you know where to reach me. May you have the day that you deserve. I'm not going to say have a good day, because everybody is not deserving of a good day. You have the day that you deserve.